Ride on Wall Street today as stocks give up some pretty substantial gains.
The 2022 housing market's a little strange right now, and it's not what you think. We've got a lot to talk about, and it's all coming up. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Warren Oberholser. In this video, I'm going to discuss when you should sell your home so you can hopefully get top dollar. Is this the right time to purchase? And when will this crazy seller's market finally be over or crash? Now, make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to discuss the wild card that I think can affect the housing market. Hey, before we start, I'd like to ask if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Currently, less than 4% of my viewers have subscribed to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. In my last video, I was a bit surprised on how fast mortgage interest rates have risen in just the last couple of weeks. If you look at Google's fixed 30-year mortgage rate, which was just posted January 26, it shows it's at 3.964. Freddie Mac shows the mortgage interest rates at 3.56%, and Nextdoor, a publication of Time, shows mortgage interest rates at 3.63%. Mortgage Banker Association states, mortgage applications have decreased 7.1% from 1 week earlier. They also state, all mortgage rates in MBA's survey continue to climb, with the 30-year fixed rate rising for the 5th consecutive week to its highest level since March 2020. So you're probably asking, has this increase in mortgage interest rates reduced the number of buyers out there? Absolutely not. Why? Well, the issue is lack of inventory. Looking at Redfin's latest article, new listings fell 12% year over year, sending the total number of homes for sale down 29% to a new all-time low during the 4th weeks ending January 16th. Now get this, Zillow states housing inventory is down 40% since pre-pandemic 2019 period. So let's address the elephant in the room. Why is inventory so low, especially compared to 2019? I feel the main reason, sellers don't know where they're going to go to when they sell. When a homeowner sells their home, they want assurance that they'll be able to purchase a new home or a replacement property for the one they sell. I've discussed this several times in my previous videos. I have approximately 6 to 8 listings that I could not get on the market last year. The reason is, or the main reason is, seller uncertainty on where they're going to move to or what home they'll be able to purchase to replace the home they sell. So what's the best time to sell your home for 2022? As I stated last month in one of my videos, historically, the best and hottest time to sell a house is in the spring, and that is definitely the case for 2022. In fact, once the holidays are over, the sooner the better. If you can get it on next month, I'd do it, especially while interest rates are still in the low 3s. Now, as we know, mortgage rates have clearly gone up and most likely will continue due to the Fed's position on the rate hikes to fight inflation. However, this has not affected the buyer. Since the beginning of this year, 41% of the homes went pending in 2 weeks, and 32% went pending within a week. So this current rise in interest rates have motivated the buyers, especially those who have been on the fence about should I get in, to go in and get into contract and purchase a home. So if you do want to sell this year, I still recommend getting your property on the market now for a couple of reasons. Number one, as mortgage rates continue to rise, the purchase amount a finance buyer can purchase will go down. They can still buy, but the home will be for less value. And two, as we go into the spring, historically, more inventory will go on, which will be more competition for your property. For buyers, that will be a good thing. As the spring goes on, more properties come on, you'll have more choices. Now, getting back to the seller, the key is to have assurance that you will be able to find a replacement property. Make sure your listing agent negotiates 2 months of rent back. That means when you sell your home, you can stay there after it closes for 2 months while you shop and look for another property. In this market, this is something I always negotiate for my sellers. In fact, I had a property that closed in Pleasanton last month, beginning of December, and the seller was able to stay there for 2 months, gave them more than enough time to find a replacement property. And when their property closed, they were able to do some repairs, minor things like carpet, paint, etc., before they moved in. All right, let's talk about should you buy in 2022? Well, it comes down to a few things. Number one, how long are you going to stay in the property? Number two, what do you plan to do with the property? Number three, is this the ideal home? In other words, great location, home is what you've been looking for. It checks off all the boxes. In other words, is this your dream home? And if you're financing, will these mortgage interest rates stop you from purchasing if they go up another 0.5 point or a point? So if you plan to stay in the area that you want to purchase for at least 5 to 10 years, and you don't see yourself outgrowing that home, then most likely overpaying will be okay. What do I see on the horizon for the housing market in 2022? To see where the housing market's heading, let's first see how we got here, especially if we go back about 9 years. If we look at Zillow's national annual home value chart, you can see we were gaining value pretty evenly, consistently from 2013 to 2019. But once the pandemic hit in 2020, home values jumped big time, as much as 25 to 30% in some areas. One of the factors in 2020 that contributed to this was the low interest rates. Now, I've discussed this, that in 2019, interest rates were peaking just about 5%, and the volume of sold properties had gone down considerably. In fact, that was thought that might have been the height of the market. And I told a story about how I had a listing come on and we made sure we priced it accordingly to generate offers, but we only had a few because the market had peaked and some properties were lowering their price at that time. This is back again in 2019. Now, interest rates are clearly going up, and I think we're going to go past 4%, and I think we could hit 5% even by late spring because of what the Fed is doing, because of the response to the Fed stating that they're going to hike rates a minimum of 3 times this year to fight off inflation, which is at 7%. So if you take that into account, we know buyers still want to buy. They've already proved that. But they're going to be buying less. And as we go into the spring, more properties will come on, which is what spring does. And as they may, and they're going to be priced at the height. That's just how properties are. What will happen, or what can happen with more inventory and buyers not being able to purchase as high, or purchase price being as high as maybe a month ago, you may see those properties stay longer on the market. And in time, and as I call that a pivot or a crest, if the properties aren't selling, then you may see home prices come down. I don't think that'll be the big factor, but what I do feel is the aggressive sellers market will become less, to the point of you may see maybe an offer, a house getting maybe 3 offers versus 13 or 23. And you may start to see these offers having full contingencies, which means the investigation, if they're getting financing, the appraisal and loan are in place. And that's what normal real estate does. That's what a buyer normally has, the safeguards to vet the property and make sure it's right for them. Now, I said in the beginning of the video that I was going to discuss the wild card. And the wild card is the volatility in the stock market. I see this affecting housing in a couple of ways. For the buyer, if the majority of their down payment is in stocks go down, this can affect how much they can purchase. And number 2, investment firms like Blackstone that have been purchasing large blocks of homes for rental properties in Charlotte, North Carolina and Phoenix, Arizona, with the uncertainty in the stock market, if it's not the best fit for them to stay in housing for rental properties and they choose to get out and sell the properties at a discount, this could affect housing. Stocks and finance are clearly above my pay grade, and that's not what this channel's about. But if you have any insight on that, please post your comments down below. So I have 2 questions for you. Do you see the seller's market continuing for the rest of this year? And 2, if you don't, what do you think will affect it? Will it be the rise in interest rates? I brought up the stock market as a possibility, or is there something else that you think will be a factor? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Again, post any questions or comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you don't miss anything. If you found this video interesting, you may want to watch these other 2 that are starting to pop up just about now, because I go into more detail on what I talked about. So stay tuned. I have more helpful videos like this coming soon. Please reach out to me for any of your real estate questions or needs, and I wish you all the best on your home journey.